Welcome to Innovatronics TV, where we uncover tales of wonder and mystery from around the world. Today, we invite you to immerse yourself in a captivating story that blurs the lines between the supernatural and the human realm. Join us as we journey to a house where an ancient spirit has watched over generations, weaving magic into the lives of its inhabitants. Before we begin, please click the like button and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of supernatural stories to share with you. Welcome to Innovatronics TV and get ready to experience the enchanting presence of the guardian of the house.
Over the past years, I have grown up without any knowledge of my grandparents, all due to family issues that are unrelated to me. They reside on a different continent, far away from where I currently live with my relatives. When I arrived at my grandparents' house, I felt extremely insecure. However, as soon as I stood in front of them, everything brightened up and I hugged them tightly. They reciprocated with great affection, dispelling any doubts, and the day passed happily. As the day wore on, the atmosphere inside the house seemed to grow tense, and the once joyous ambience turned into chaos. My siblings and I found ourselves confined to a disorganized room surrounded by scattered belongings, and our attempts to find comfort in this cluttered space were futile. The air was heavy with uncertainty, and it felt as though an unspoken tension had settled among us. Amidst the disarray, I noticed my siblings weren't feeling well. Their pale faces and downturned eyes were a clear sign of discomfort. Concerned for their well-being, I decided to step out of the room to give them some space. As I opened the door, I was met with a gust of fresh air, and the soft murmur of the wind through the trees brought a moment of solace. I stepped out into the cool evening, hoping that the tranquil surroundings would offer some respite from the growing unease inside. I stumbled upon my grandmother, who left a plate of cake and a glass of milk under the stairs. I didn't intend to peek, so I quietly returned to bed. To my surprise, when I got back, the room was clean, and even the mess my sibling had made in their suitcase was sorted out. Thinking my sibling had tidied up, I decided to sleep in the living room to avoid disturbing them. I slept peacefully, until a loud noise from the back door woke me up. Someone was trying to open the door. I swear I saw it. When I peeked, I noticed a person jogging until they disappeared among the trees. I felt like they were watching me, and when I looked back, I was shocked. I saw an old small man near the fireplace. His entire body was covered in hair, and each eye and the bridge of his nose were distinct. He had small horns and a tail he tried to hide between his legs. He looked like a character from a long horror story.
In a dimly lit room, Alexei hides under the blanket on a cozy bed, seeking refuge from an unknown threat outside. Their fearful eyes dart around, hoping to remain undetected as the tension builds. The viewer is left intrigued, wondering what danger lurks beyond and how the situation will unfold.
I hurriedly went out to hide, causing a commotion that woke everyone up. When they asked me about the commotion, I was too embarrassed to tell them what I saw and just said that someone tried to break into the house.
Alexei, what happened?
Nothing, Pops. I just saw something.
What exactly did you see?
Nothing. Don't worry about me, Pops.
Maybe you saw Domovoi. He's the guardian of this house. We as a family and the house are protected by him.
Domovoi? What is he? Is he good?
He is. That's why I'm asking you what exactly you saw, because it may vary depending on the people who see him. For some people, he's just an old person, and for some, he looks like a devil. Don't worry, just sleep there tight and call me if you need something. Good night, Alexei.
Alexei lay on the bed, his eyes tightly shut in an attempt to sleep, but his furrowed brow and the faint trembling of his lips revealed the turmoil within. Despite the darkness, his mind was far from tranquil, replaying the unsettling events over and over again. His eyebrows knit together as he clenched his fists, clearly haunted by the memories. The room's dim light cast shadows on his troubled expression, emphasizing the worry and fear etched on his face. Sleep eluded him, for his thoughts were consumed by the unknown and the unease that now enveloped him.
Because of this, my grandfather just told me to stay calm and that there was a guardian in this house who protected it and wouldn't let anything happen. But instead of calming down, it made me even more scared. Alone, I tried to figure out what to do. I couldn't sleep peacefully, unsure whether to look out to see who entered or hide under the covers. And then I heard again a slight noise at the window, and my heart stopped when I saw a small hand with hair trying not to make a sound. The owner of the hand silently moved around the room until he reached my little sister's bedside table. At that moment, his appearance changed and he turned into my grandmother.
Alexei, did I wake you up?
Grandma, are you my real grandma?
Yes. Alexei, is there something wrong?
Now, nothing, Grandma.
I want to tell you something if it's okay with you.
Sure, Grandma.
Your pops told me that you saw Domovoi, and I want to tell a story about him. As you know, he is our protector for centuries. Long ago, in a remote Slavic village nestled amidst thick forests and rolling hills, there lived a young and virtuous man named Ivan. Ivan was known for his kindness, bravery, and unwavering sense of duty to protect his family and community. One winter night, during a fierce snowstorm, Ivan stumbled upon an injured and shivering creature in the woods. It was a small, peculiar-looking spirit with a wild mane of hair, piercing eyes, and gnarled limbs. The creature, a Domovoi, was wounded and on the brink of freezing to death. Moved by compassion, Ivan took the Domovoi into his home, nursing it back to health. Grateful for Ivan's kindness, the Domovoi vowed to protect Ivan and his family in return. As the years passed, the bond between Ivan and the Domovoi grew stronger, and the spirit became a guardian of the household, ensuring its safety and prosperity. But as time went on, the village faced challenges and hardships. Rumors spread of an impending invasion by marauding bands of raiders, and fear gripped the community. Ivan's protective nature and sense of responsibility intensified, and he resolved to defend his home and loved ones at all costs. The Domovoi, sensing Ivan's growing anxiety and desire for vengeance, absorbed the negative emotions and fears that surrounded him. In an attempt to protect Ivan from the darkness that threatened to consume him, the Domovoi took on the burden of those emotions, transforming its once benevolent appearance into a more sinister form. As the raids escalated and violence tainted the village, Domovoi's demeanor changed, mirroring the anger and desperation that filled Ivan's heart. The villagers began to fear the once beloved protector, now appearing more devil-like with glowing eyes and twisted features. In a climactic battle against the raiders, Ivan's life was tragically cut short, but not before he defeated many of the invaders, saving countless lives. The Domovoi, heartbroken at the loss of its dear friend, withdrew into the shadows, haunted by the memories of both Ivan's goodness and the violence they had endured together. Ivan is one of our ancestors.
He was protecting us until now. I can't believe that we have that in our family history, and the story is true. He scared my little sister because she was disorganized and made a mess, but he protected the house and its residents.
Despite his mischievous nature, Domovoi has a heart that remembers its happy memories. When you hear a child crying, it's him in his weakest form, reminiscing about the moments he shared with Ivan. Offering him food makes him feel at home and stops his tears.
You have to let them be with peace of mind because they're not visible but always there. If they're causing trouble, you have to invite them to dinner along with the house's inhabitants. Set a place for them at the table with a loaf of bread covered with a white linen cloth. Additionally, you can honor them by hanging used shoes outside the house. The act of hanging used shoes outside the house is associated with the belief that the Domovoi can take on the form of a family member who has passed away. And the shoes act as a symbolic offering to these ancestral spirits. By providing the shoes, the household members show their acknowledgement of the Domovoi's presence and the idea that their ancestors continue to watch over and protect them. As the days passed, the presence of Domovoi in the house became more apparent, with subtle but mysterious occurrences happening regularly. Objects would move from one place to another, doors would creak open and shut on their own, and faint giggles and whispers could be heard echoing through the halls at night. Despite the initial fear, the family started to get used to Domovoi's presence, and some even found comfort in knowing they had a protective spirit looking after them. As the night deepened, the atmosphere inside the house grew tense. The family huddled together in the living room, sharing stories while Alexei monitored his equipment. Suddenly, the temperature in the room dropped and the candles flickered erratically. Alexei's equipment started capturing strange readings, and the air seemed charged with energy. Out of the corner of his eye, Alexei thought he caught a glimpse of a shadowy figure darting across the room. Excitement mixed with fear coursed through him, and he couldn't help but feel a strange connection to the enigmatic Domovoi. Meanwhile, the youngest member of the family, little Anna, had been drawing pictures of the house spirit during dinner. Unbeknownst to the rest of the family, the drawings seemed to capture more than just an imaginary friend. As the night wore on, the family retired to their rooms, and Alexei continued to investigate. However, what happened next would change everything. The house suddenly filled with an otherworldly glow, and soft singing could be heard emanating from the walls. The family gathered once more in the living room, and to their amazement, the spirit of Domovoi materialized before them. The entity's wild appearance softened, and he revealed his true nature as a protector and guardian of the house, with a deep affection for the family.
Fear not, dear family, I mean no harm.
You've always been with us, protecting and guiding our family.
I have been watching over generations of your kin from the time this house was built many years ago.
You mean you've been here all this time since the beginning?
I've grown fond of your family over the years. Your ancestors cared for this home, and in turn, I have cared for them.
But what about those mischievous acts we've experienced? Were you responsible for those?
All those were merely playful gestures, a way to remind you of my presence, to make sure you didn't forget about the guardian of this house.
Domovoi changed his form to his original.
Well, I must admit, you certainly succeeded in getting our attention. But why reveal yourself now?
It's time for you to know the truth, to understand that you are not alone in this house. I have watched your family grow, and I wish to continue protecting in future generations.
Thank you, Domovoi. Your presence brings comfort and a sense of belonging to this old house. We are honored to have you as our guardian.
The honor is mine. No one, your family's care for this home has forged a bond that spans generations. As long as you cherish this place, I'll be here, looking after all who dwell within.
Domovoi explained that he had been watching over generations of their kin. From the time the house was built many years ago, he had grown fond of the family, and his mischievous acts were merely playful gestures to remind them of his presence. From that night on, the family and Domovoi developed a unique bond, with the spirit becoming an integral part of their lives. Alexei continued to visit them, documenting their experiences and unraveling the ancient mysteries that shrouded the house. The house became a place where the supernatural and the human world intersected, and the stories of the family's encounters with Domovoi spread throughout the region. People came from far and wide to witness the enchanting presence of the house spirit, turning it into a place of wonder and fascination. And so, the house with its supernatural inhabitant became a cherished part of the family's legacy, reminding them of the enchanting power of folklore and the enduring magic that binds generations together. Thank you for joining us on this mesmerizing adventure to the House Guardian. We hope you found the tale as captivating as we did, reminding us of the timeless allure of folklore and the unseen forces that shape our lives. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on more fascinating stories. Until next time, may the magic of the unseen continue to intrigue and inspire you. This is inhabitants TV. Thank you for watching.